All guests on ZASLOW Show 2.0 are brought to us by the official beer of the program. You know we're talking Johnny Cuba. European roots with a Caribbean soul, a refreshing German lager in a can. Go to johnnycuba.us. You use the Johnny locator. You find the nearest location. How else are you going to enjoy the Panthers tonight, taking that ass against the Maple Leafs, than with an ice-cold Johnny Cuba in your hand? That's right. Make sure you always drink responsibly. And don't forget Johnny Cuba's mantra, stay tranquilo. Joining us now is our pal, Israel Gutierrez. You see him Oddball with Amino Hassan, Meadowlark Media. Israel, great to have you on here.
Zaz, what's the catchphrase? Awful news for the Maple Leafs tonight?
Yo, it's bad news for the Maple Leafs. You know what I'm talking about?
Unfortunate news.
I'm going tonight. I bought tickets last night because my team needs me. They need me, and so I will be in the house tonight. We're the ZASLOW men. We are going this evening. I am very, very excited. I feel excited. I feel very, very good about it. Are you into tonight?
I'm very much into tonight. I'm not going to be at the game. I will be watching from my home. There's one spot in my house where if I stand there, Panthers undefeated. And so I'm going to be standing in that spot for 3 full periods. I can walk away if they're up multiple goals, I've learned. So if it's one spot, I have to have one foot on the rug, 1 foot off the rug, just to the right of the couch. And that's the spot where the Panthers, they start to kill.
All right, that's what I'm talking about then. So very, very big night tonight. We got incredible weekend. So the Stanley Cup playoffs are always fantastic. The NBA playoffs sometimes can be hit or miss. The NBA playoffs have been awesome this year. So we're in a great spot as sports fans. Let's talk first about what we got coming up tonight. All right. Cavaliers and Pacers. I think when you're the Cavs, when you lose game 2 the way you did, that leads to you being swept. I don't think they're going to win a game this series.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the Pacers are the type of team that can definitely let you get one. I think if you look at the Cavs when they were at full strength, they were at full strength in game 1, just didn't shoot it well. But only only hit 9 threes. And so, yes, I think the Pacers have something of a home court advantage. Yes, I think, their role players can play a little bit better there. They might even play a little faster at home, but Cavs play fast. The Cavs can score. If they are reasonably something of a healthy squad, I think they can make this a series still. But it's probably the most difficult one to predict.
I got to tell you, we don't know what their status is for tonight. It's not out yet as we're talking here. But Darius Garland, he's missed 4 straight games. I understand you missed the 2 games against Miami. Fine, get healthy. Everybody knows the way that series is going to go. Didn't love him missing the opening game this round. And then when you're down 1-0 at home, I mean, your season's essentially on the line. You can't go down 0-2, and you're dealing with a toe injury. And by the way, you've practiced. You've been on the floor with the team. You can't get out there and play a little bit? You're telling me you can't get out there and throw an inbounds pass so Max Strus doesn't throw the ball away? You can't help Donovan Mitchell bring the ball across half court where they didn't cross in the final minute of the game? Israel, I got a big problem with Darius Garland not playing so far in this series.
It's possible that with that bad toe, he can't play defense. And so after calling out Tyler Hero, he doesn't want to look bad, not playing defense. I do think it's a bad look. Look, I'm not going to say a toe injury isn't a serious injury. It's ended careers, toes have, especially of football players. But I don't think it's the best. I think he probably had more faith in his teammates that they were able to pull out a game 2. And frankly, they were right there. It took a lucky bounce and then a ballsy 3 for them to lose that game. So I think there is or might be a little bit more regression to the mean just for the Cavs in general. But in terms of Darius Garland, he is to the Cavs what I thought, Klay Thompson was to the Warriors during, all their runs, is he is just a great luxury. If he is going off, there's no chance you're beating that team. If he is struggling, they can still win. And so him not being there, I don't think is, the end all for that team. But if you're a diehard Cleveland fan, you got to be looking at Darius and wondering, yeah, you should have at least toughed this out. Get in uniform for me. Let me see what it looks like with a bad toe. And then I'd be like, all right, yeah, you shouldn't have played.
Sitting in the middle of the bench, the three of them in their street clothes while you're watching the team melt down. The optics are so bad.
And it's different than, pressuring, let's say, a Kevin Durant into playing in the 19 finals where he obviously shouldn't have played and made that injury even worse into Achilles tear. Like, I don't know what else you're really going to do if you've got a toe injury, right? Like, you're going to maybe make that toe a little bit more painful.
It's going to hurt.
In terms of like the worst, making something else worse, the kinetic chain, all that stuff, I don't know if you're really going to make it anything much worse.
And DeAndre Hunter's another one, man. You got a thumb injury? Go play some defense. Grab a rebound. Come on. Like, you can't at least try. Go out there, try, and then maybe during a timeout, you say to coach, listen, this is really hindering my play.
Now,
I got to come
I will say that there's probably coaches or other people telling him, hey, like, we're good. We can trust our healthy player right behind you. We don't have to play you with a bum thumb. And again, they were a rebound away from that being the case, from everybody stepping up and doing what they need to do, and Donovan Mitchell scoring 48 points and carrying that team, and everybody says, all right, they're back, they'll get healthy, they'll win one in Indiana, and they'll take this series. Now, yeah, you're going to question yourself, but you can't go too far off the rails here because, again, you were right there.
Israel, you saw Draymond Green's comments after the game last night. He didn't take any questions in the locker room. He just made a statement, quote, the agenda to keep trying to make me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous. Now, look, I understand the optics of, white guy in his mid-40s sitting here and talking about Draymond and not like the way he's being treated because he's a black man. I get that part. But help me out here. This statement is ridiculous to me.
Here, I'll say this. There's nothing more dangerous in the NBA than Draymond Green's offhand. Like, if you're fouling him here, he's going to do that. And so, like, he's going to make a lot of contact with people.
I'll tell you, Israel, I'm stunned with Stan's commentary during these plays on the broadcast.
Well, here's the thing. Draymond has gotten to everybody. It's not just the officials who let things get away, right? Let him get away with things because he's Draymond, because he's done it for his entire career, because it's one of those you can't call everything type of situations, and it's more credit to him. I'm not even giving him a hard time about that, but everybody seems to be pulling back and not being as hard on him. And I'm just like, wait a second. Just go through his history. Never mind how he reacts afterward. Never mind what the penalty is. Never mind anything of that other stuff. When he gets fouled by Steven Adams and the reaction is, wow! And that's not normal. And it goes in between Steven Adams' legs. You're going to get fined for that. You're going to get reaction for that from everywhere around the league. When you do, was it Yusuf Nurkic, where he did where it was like supposedly just a natural reaction. Look, man, we all know this. Like, Kobe Bryant taught us this. Every player knows where their elbows are, man. And you know that if you're getting swiped down here and you're angrily gesturing over here and you hit somebody in the face, it's going to get called by the book. Okay. Do I think that there is truth to what Draymond is saying? Sure. Now's not the time to bring that up, because this was a very clear just flailing of the arms. And it just so happens to come after a loss, to come when they know they're going to need every call going into Golden State. So this is just all mind games from Draymond Green, and doing it in a way that scares folks like you into not being able to really talk about it properly. So it's just like, all right, so it's a brilliant move by Draymond. It is 100% true, but is also probably not the time to really, if you're looking to, find evidence in a court of law to back that up, not the time, but also the perfect time, because it's in the middle of a playoff series that you're going to need every call you can get.
Now,
at least
Israel,
until Steph gets back.
Israel, I believe that the Cavs are done, but I don't believe the Celtics are done. Obviously, it's stunning that the Knicks are up 2 games to none. What have you made about the conversation around Jason Tatum over these last couple of days?
Hasn't been over these last couple of days for me, whether it be in my own head or with the people I'm around. But I've been having Jason Tatum conversations for a long time, man. It's just disappointing, like, to watch him not show up. It's just flat out that simple. But if you've been watching him over the last several years, you realize that that's going to be the case. Like, I've watched, this is weird. I've watched a lot of Celtics game with no sound where I'm just focusing on Jason Tatum. And this was during the regular season, during last year's playoffs, whatever. And there's just too many times for a person who has his level of responsibility where he's just kind of floating from one 3-point line to the other 3-point line, never really getting involved in like the dirty stuff, never really, fighting hard for rebounds, never fighting hard for position. And that stuff's just going to translate when it comes to, the real moments in the playoffs. And it's been a while since we've seen him use any of his counter moves outside of that little push off and step back. Like, let's see some variety in your game to where a defender doesn't know what's coming. And at this point, you'd probably lose a bunch of dudes if you went to your counter moves, if you had them, because nobody's seen them in a while. And it's just, again, disappointing to see. There's not really a whole lot of variety to his game. It's not a lot of fun to watch. He doesn't have the type of personality where you say, hey, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, whatever. It just doesn't seem like the most embraceable person. And so, yeah, like the Jason Tatum of it all has been there for a while. And he's the centerpiece of that team, even though he didn't win Finals MVP, even though, Jaylen Brown with his bum knee is required to collapse the defense even more than Tatum is because he just seems more capable at the time. It's just, if I were his teammate, I'd be wildly frustrated with him. If I were, a fan of his, I'd be wildly frustrated with him. And I think what's showing up now is just the product of everything else. Like whatever he's been able to skate by with all these times because his team is too good for him to fail. Well, now it's showing up because, KP's not there. Maybe Jaylen Brown's not 100% himself. And now it's time for you to step up and the team's not good enough for you to fail, for you not to fail. And so here we are.
Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach?
Great question. He's only had a great team to coach. And
yeah, I feel like I don't know if he's a good coach or not. I don't know.
One of those times they lost to an 8 seed, right? One of those times they won a championship, sure. But, we'll see what happens this time. If they lose after a season of high expectations and they lose in the second round, I think people are going to question him. And whether it be a game plan or whether it be the way he approaches his players, there's going to be something that stands out as to what he's not doing right. Because I wouldn't say these Celtics are maximizing their talent.
It's funny because that 2008 Celtics team that won the championship, I've never seen a team who won a championship milk it for more than it was. Like they won one championship. You would think that they won 5 in a row. And this Celtics team, they won a championship last year, and their attitude, the arrogance, the laziness that they play with, you would think that they are 5-time NBA champions.
It's funny that you say that because in terms of the outside looking in, I do agree with you. Like that 08 Celtics team just felt like, the greatest champion of that era, which is crazy.
There's no difference between them and the Raptors in 2019. There's no difference.
This one, I feel like the public doesn't really see it that way. I mean, look who they beat. Like they kind of coasted. And the year before, they kind of choked to Steph Curry or whatever it was, a couple of years before, choked to Steph Curry, and then obviously lost to Miami after that. So it's just like, as much as they've won it, they didn't really win it the way you expect them to. It's just, or you expect a team to. It's just like, hey, build a team that's impossible to fail. Oh, by the way, just kind of coast through the Eastern Conference and then get a really tired Dallas Mavericks team in the finals. Like, didn't seem like they slogged through that much. And I think the public probably still needs to see Tatum in a Celtics uniform win another championship before they get anything like the 08 treatment.
Israel, Pat Riley is talking today, his season-ending press conference. By the time people are listening to this, maybe Pat's in the middle of talking, or maybe he's already spoken. If you were there and you were able to ask the first question, what is it?
Whew, the first question, what would it be? I'm intrigued. I don't know if I have the question as refined just yet, but I'm intrigued about how he dealt with the departure with Jimmy in comparison to LeBron. And what I mean by that is, has he evolved in any way in how he experiences that, I guess, betrayal? Because he was pretty damn betrayed, like to levels that I don't even think we all know yet, and how poorly he felt after that LeBron situation. Like that was supposed to be his, piece de resistance, and he was, going to be able to just write his own book.
LeBron was supposed to be here forever.
Correct. And, basketball in Miami would be the dynasty, and it's just, the new Lakers, the new 80s Lakers. And so it really hurt. And so when Jimmy Butler comes around, and say what you will about who deserves the credit, Pat's going to probably believe that he deserves a lot of the credit for creating that team or for putting Jimmy in that situation to begin with and trusting him. And so I'd like to know how he experienced it once he knew for sure that Jimmy was going to go or that he had to trade him. Was it, how much did he learn from the LeBron experience? How much did he sort of calm himself down? And how much did that factor into how he's going to build now? Because if you remember, it was kind of a revenge build back then. It was Luol Deng, the best free agent signing ever.
Best free agent we've ever signed.
And it's just like, yeah, no, this is personal. This is ego driven. This isn't about making the best decisions necessarily. And I think maybe he will have learned from that.
Finally, here in Israel, Around the Horn, a program that you were on many, many times over many years, is ending in a couple of weeks. Are we going to see you on it again? Or are you getting a phone call? You're going to be on?
Yeah, no, I'll be on the May 22nd episode, I believe, right now.
Okay.
So yeah, if that changes, it might change. You never know. Things are fluid, but that's the plan.
Okay. Are you sad about that?
No, I love being on the show. Am I sad that it's ending? Yes, I'm pretty sad that it's ending. To be honest, I don't think the folks at ESPN knew what to do with this show. Like the people in the the front office or the executives or whatever. It's the show that had significant, solid numbers from day one all the way till the end. Like I think.
So why are they getting rid of it?
Like I said, I don't think they know how to treat it. I don't think they know how to deal with it. I mean, it's a show.
Do we know what's coming in its place?
No, my guess is some version of more Stephen A. Smith. Would be my guess. But got to get your money's worth on that. But no, like that hour, that Eric Rydholm hour, if you will, the happy hour of ESPN has been so self-sustained and successful for so long that it wouldn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense. And I don't think anybody involved really understands it. But, that show's been magic for sports fans. It's been like, and the only reason I recognize that is, after doing it for about 16 years, is just how many people just say they grew up on that show. And I'm talking 50-year-olds. I'm talking 20-year-olds. Wherever you are in the sports range, like of the people that I come across, you have experienced Around the Horn for a significant portion of your life. And so it could have been, a legacy show that stuck around forever. Hopefully what happens is, Tony Reali continues to be a part of shows, podcasts, broadcasts, wherever for the rest of his career, and we sort of continue to spread that Around the Horn energy, if you will, because I think regardless of what you think about that show, I think everybody recognizes that ESPN probably could have maintained it and retained it and let that thing go for a long time. Instead, here we are coming to an end, and I don't really see a reason why.
Israel, tell everybody how they can catch you and Amin on Oddball and anything else you got going on.
Yeah, Oddball, anywhere you get your podcast. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. The playoffs bring out the best in us, I think. And on the Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gatz, you can catch me on there on occasion, usually on a healthy Friday is usually the probably healthiest dose of me you can get. But and hopefully one day you and I can get on there and bring back the old ZASLOW Show days.
That'd be good, right? Final score for the Panthers tonight. What do you got?
Oh, terrible. Awful news for the Maple Leafs tonight. I've got like a 5-1.
Wow.
Maybe throwing an empty netter, but 5-1, yeah.
I'm going 4-2. A good solid victory for the Panthers
I'm
tonight.
with you, by the way. There's no chance this is even going 7. It's 4 straight wins for the Cats here.
That's what I'm talking about. It's bad news for the Leafs. Everybody knows that. Great job, Israel. Thanks, man.
See ya.